One life touches another, potentially both lives change. One life touches another, and potentially the whole world changes. The law of influence, it's how the world works, and it's just words until life tells you otherwise. Hi, I'm Rika Sivaramakrishnan, and my TEDx speech is about centers in on a moment in my life that unveiled the boundless potential of our generation. Gen Z is often referred to as a generation of change. We constantly recognize and reevaluate the importance of addressing some of the most taxing challenges of the 21st century. We've started rapidly growing movements of advocacies like the Black Lives Matter movement back in 2020. We express our opinions while being well aware of possible backlash, and this is really what sets us apart. So a few years ago, I went to camp at Mount Adams, where I joined a driven cohort of young leaders determined to make a difference for a week of exploration without any cell or self-righteous service. At camp, much like school, we had our days planned out for us as time blocks. This meant creating a balance between interaction and reflection. One of our daily interaction time blocks was allotted to our camp's junior counselors, where they shared a moment in their life through a short talk. These talks revolved around the same theme, the law of influence and how it changed each and every one of their lives. Mount Adams was a camp curated by a combination of college students and adults with families. The individuals at this camp were there because they put service before self. Throughout the course of this camp, I learned to connect, communicate, and reflect on past experiences. But on the ride back from camp, I began thinking about what I could do to shape my future experiences. And this began from asking myself a fundamental question. How can I, as a young person, create change? Now, initially, I was stumped for an answer. The truth is, even though we may be seen as a generation of change, determining ways to go into your community and attempting to create real impact is no easy task. A lot of young people are hesitant towards disrupting the status quo because they believe that their voice doesn't have the ability to create impact. I was no different, but reality was far from that. Today, I believe that anybody can positively impact their community no matter their age, gender, or background. And I learned it the hard way, but you can do so through something as simple as an idea. When I realized that I could leverage something I loved in order to create impact, I started answering my question of how I could make change. So for several years, I utilized cosmetics and public speaking as my outlet of expression. Eventually, I pivoted to using my knowledge of cosmetics to evaluate the extent to which beauty standards had affected our outlook on purchasing quality cosmetics. Here's an example. How many of us own makeup from celebrity beauty brands? I'd be lying if I said I were any different. Thinking back to the day that I bought my Rare Beauty concealer, I'd been advertised this product over and over again through social media, so when it came to buying the product, there was nothing for me to think about. But something I realized from this purchase was that we tend to associate the success celebrities like Selena Gomez have in their industry with the quality of their brand. And that's like comparing apples and oranges. Now, this was just a breakdown of the ever so famous fallacy, the appeals to false authority. But where I was heading was that we overlooked the production process, the facts in comparison to the publicity when we buy well-reputed products. The reality of having a large market, though, is to make the product as generic as possible. And there is a certain amount of discomfort around voicing out our opinions and our inconveniences with products from highly reputed celebrity beauty brands that we've been told are personalized. But why should beauty be pain? Why can't each one of us have beauty our way? Reflecting on these questions ultimately pushed me to create my own brand, Bothell Beauty LLC. My vision had been to foster potential in local businesses that are personalized, to power out shower thoughts and bring the what-ifs to reality. The hardest thing in the world is to keep things simple, and we've been able to accomplish just that, with products that produce simple solutions. Bothell Beauty was founded to foster comfort, to encourage young women in the region to put their needs over the society's wants. I'd grown tired of the lack of realization that Gen Z had with the quote, beauty is pain, and it's not a norm. I wanted to amplify the idea of putting ourselves before the status quo. Starting an LLC was difficult at first, but it took off when I began tapping into digital communities and making my passion for creating comfortable makeup products evident to others. When Bottle Beauty started growing, it felt like I'd finally found my home. What began as a simple idea blossomed into a vibrant community of confident women working together intersectionally to positively impact lives through creativity. We brought makeup and comfort into cohesion, advocating for women's rights through donating portions of our profits to communicate to communities, raising awareness for racial equality and mental health. My goal is to utilize business and social entrepreneurship to encourage young women like myself to put comfort before anything. I don't know how people are going to react to the products I launch or the discomforts that I voice out, but the uncertainty that we as Gen Z entrepreneurs face can be immobilizing at times, and this is because the road ahead may seem intimidating. But this shouldn't deter you from trying to make change. Find something that you're truly passionate about and use it as a vessel for social impact work to unite others. Make your voice heard and amplify the voices of the unheard. Work to start initiatives and create spaces which you feel need to be there but aren't already there, challenging social norms. Push the limits when it comes to advocating for what you care about. Tap into your creativity and go out of your comfort zone because your voice is powerful. Use it to your advantage. You're going to face obstacles in your journey, but you should embrace these challenges and see them as motivation rather than a hindrance. Work to make your ideas heard. As a change maker, you will always face people who'll doubt you, but have faith in yourself and what you're truly passionate about, and don't let anyone else dictate your success. Furthermore, I encourage you to utilize your voice to make your mark on social media. The tools are vast and they can seem impossible to harness at times, but they're a compelling way to make your voice heard and your vision heard. Finally, your business can have a purpose and shouldn't be driven by just personal motives. The impact that it has on your community will tell you that people have recognized your efforts, and eventually it'll pay off not only for you, but everybody around you. We have no choice but to accept change the way things are. But instead of seeing this as a burden, see it as an opportunity to build the world the way we want it. One business alone cannot disrupt the status quo, which is why it's so crucial that we come together and build our own LLCs and different organizations to advocate for what we truly care about. One voice can set off a ripple generating waves for generations to come. At the end of the day, anyone has the ability to equip themselves with the tools they need in order to make their voices heard. So I implore you to let go of your fears, embrace the unknown, and be the change that you wish to see in the world. Thank you.